Divorce. How many of you have ever heard that Tammy Wynette song? I remember listening to that song in the 70s as a child. The lyrics were so heartfelt yet scary. Little did we know it would soon take over our nation's marriages. The song was so far-fetched that Tammy Wynette couldn't even say the words. She had to spell it out. It was a taboo subject. The speaking of aliens was more normal than the word divorce. We all had normal families. Normal during those days were a mother and a father and siblings under one roof. In today's normal, it's a single parent with children living under one roof with the other parent at another home that they get to visit sometimes on special occasions and every other weekend. During my research on this topic, I found an article on the internet and the CQ Researcher website that stated in today's society over half of our marriages are ending before the time that the oldest child is 18 years of age. We must recognize the effects that divorce has on our children. We need to help them cope with this traumatic life event. There needs to be an understanding of the situation before all that are involved can heal and move on. Moving on often means that one of the parents is remarried. When this happens, the family is now a mixed family. Mixed family are when two families join to form one family. Are mixed families the normal family in today's society? Can there be a happy ending? We will look at all of these questions, and hopefully I will help you understand the epidemic that is taking over our nation's marriages. The effects of divorce on children has many phases. Even though a parent is not dead, divorce is like handling death. There will be a lot of anger and frustration. There will be a feeling of abandonment, the common blame game, loyalty issues, and then finally the healing will set in. How do we as parents and grandparents, teachers, or friends help children that are going through this traumatic life event? Naturally, there's a lot of anger and frustration. This is very normal. The children are mad at the situation and frustrated that they can't control or fix this problem. We as adults need to let them know that this is not their problem to fix. They had nothing to do with this. And most importantly, always be honest about what's going on. In the book entitled Good Parenting Through Your Divorce, I uncovered that a lot of frustration comes when the child feels like he or she is not being listened to. As quoted in that book, such an attitude discounts children's feelings, and every step of the way, every custody decision you make, every fight you have over money, your child is going to have a feeling about it. Again, be honest with your child. Being honest doesn't mean bearing the whole truth about what mommy or daddy did last night, but don't sugarcoat what's going on either. They must feel like you will always be honest with them and that you'll always be there for them. They also want to be able to be honest and open with you about their feelings and about their anger and frustration. As they grow up, they will find out the truth anyway. So let them know that at least you never lied to them. As a divorced mother, that is some advice that was given to me, and I value that advice. I don't want to, or do I have to bash Daddy for what has happened. That relationship is over, so I must make my relationship with my children stronger to make it better. Honesty is the best way to help all of us cope. Children will feel abandoned. This is the strongest blow for children during a divorce. The book that I recommend for any parent or grandparent that's helping a child go through a divorce is Good Parenting Through Your Divorce. In the book, there's a section that discussed the feeling of abandonment children have. There was one quote that really caught my attention. The quote is, "The child does not view this as a husband leaving a wife or a wife leaving a husband. Your child experiences this as mom leaving me or dad leaving me." This statement hit me in the stomach, and I mean hard. It's been nearly 4 years since my husband left, and I never once thought of it that way. The children need my reassurance, and that they will have the other parent around. You, as the custodial parent, must encourage visitation with the other parent. But remember, all you can do is encourage the other parent. Never badmouth them if they don't follow through. Again, the child will see what's going on and value your righteousness overall. Kids will often blame themselves, but again, Reassurance that they did nothing wrong and it's between mom and dad, not child and parent, is all you can do. In order for the child to feel at peace about the divorce, they must understand what's going on. Remember, your life isn't the only one that's been traumatically changed. It's their life too. And they have every right to know what's going on. Healing will come in time. Some kids heal faster than others, just as adults. After the healing starts, there'll be new blows that will come into play. Mom, dad, or both will start to date, if that hasn't already come into play. When this happens, I feel it's very important to introduce the relationship as a friendship. I truly feel as if that's what it should be during this time. Whether it's been 10 years or 2 months since the divorce, it's still new and difficult to start a relationship. Involve the children once you know the relationship is growing into more than a friendship type. I'm not saying to hide the friends until they pop the question, but it's very important not to introduce a new friend every day of the week. When the new relationship does grow for you and your new mate and your family, it's time for the wedding. This will be the mixed family I described earlier. If the new mate has children and you have children, you will form to make one family. In the book, What About the Kids? It describes the remarriage as a whole new chapter, a life chapter for you and your children, rather than a new beginning. The book also points out that as an adult, we must remember, when the second marriage starts, you will have fears of failure due to the first marriage disaster. Remember, your children have those same feelings. The fears may be, will mom and dad still love me if they have a new spouse? Will I be replaced? Again, honesty is what the child needs to help them get over these fears. Sit down and talk with them as a family. Assure them that their concerns are important. And remember to always be honest and open and talk about the fears. It also says in the book, What About the Kids, that most children are happy and relieved if they see that you're happy. They've been worried about you. If they come to like your new partner, they'll feel pleased that with greater opportunity, there'll be a lot of family time. Again, include your children from the beginning of the divorce until the end of the divorce, and even into the second marriage. Personally, I still believe in a fairy tale ending. I believe the fairy tale may not be the one that we had planned for ourselves, but I do believe it can be a happy ending for all who learn to cope and accept what's handed to us. I also believe there'll be a happy ever after as long as there's always honesty in everything that is said and done for everyone involved. Unfortunately, divorce isn't that unspoken taboo subject anymore. Divorce is real, and we must learn to help our children cope with this.